recently for sure. And I mean, look, I said it earlier, I'll be biased. Gamarachi! Alright?
Gamarachi! Yep, I agree. And as a caster for Astros of Reset, right, both of these the same organization for both these players. I can't, my heart's divided right at the same time. So let's see how it's going to work out for both of them. I'm going to be honest with you, I really like the way that Mauu has been playing recently. You know, as of late, he has been playing super well. His Ryu has been absolutely solid overall, and you generally don't really see Ryu this active within the current meta, right? I mean, he doesn't have a lot of ways to be able to do this feat properly, at least from what Mauu has, when I've spoken to him, what he said, right? So let's see how that is going to work out within his favor. You know, I mean, we're not talking about Steve, we're actually talking a little bit more about Palutena, and I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes Chag does have that Cosmo syndrome where he does die in comical ways, and let's see if that's gonna happen out right here, if we're gonna see the Shoto right here from Street Fighter actually be able to do something about the offense ever growing right here. Yep, that's gonna be it. Successful edge guard right here coming in from Chag in order to take the first blood here within this top 6.
Yeah, the way that Chag has been Chag is not afraid to go out there. He goes out very deep for sure. And honestly, I think Mauu, you know, unfortunately trying to be very creative with the way he's recovering, not really panning out the way that he wanted it to be. But Chag right now, something to note too is we've been seeing a lot of mid from Chag recently, and you know, today I feel like he's been trusting the Palutena, the tried and true, to kind of come in and get the job done a little bit more so now. And right now, he's doing a pretty good job. I mean, one straight hit right here from Mauu, that's going to be the first stock taken, but Chag could potentially snowball right here if you can keep playing outside of that burst range that Ryu wants to play at so badly.
Yeah, especially because of that dash, right? That dash that's integrated within his toolkit. One of the only characters that can actually action himself quite well out of said dash into like tilts, into like special moves, anything really. And that's reminiscent of his iterations within Street Fighter, especially Street Fighter 5 goes in with the strong up tilt. That is going to be the stock right here finally for Mauu after a couple of minutes, you know, almost 2 minutes of a drought within stocks. That is going to cause at least a little bit of a breather for him. However, you know, you try to parry as many of those hits with the Shakuretsu Hadouken you can, but in the end it is going to hit you. And not only that, but we have a Chag that has been sharking for those kills constantly throughout. He's been juggling so much Mauu within the air that there's really nothing much that he's been able to do other than simply just wait for an opportunity to be able to get out of the situation that he's in, the unfortunate one, but it hasn't really been working out for him too well. I love the glide with the Hadouken, by the way.
100%. Like the way that Mauu has just been stalling, you know, understanding what Chag was looking for in terms of, you know, just the patience at the ledge by shielding, even though it was very low. Additionally, like you said, stalling with the Hadouken, able to get through 2 explosive flames put in different parts of the offstage scene right here. But man, this is really scary. Yeah, I mean, no matter what you do, at the end of the day, if you throw out these focuses and you're not 100% on point with them, Chag can easily go out there, just throw out the multi-hits, and he has a few to deal with it as well. So last stock scenarios here for Mauu. Chag looking pretty good though, but Mauu, I think he's slowly starting to like actually catch up now. As soon as I say that though, Chag opening up with some nairs, right, trying to get some damage, some bread and butters here. Still looking pretty good here regardless.
Definitely, and even though we did see that miss on that up air, I mean, it's still a lot of damage that Mauu has to eat forcefully, right? He's force-fed that damage because that's exactly what Palutena does to you, right? One of the more honest characters with it, honestly busted, right? Characters that we see within this meta. Overall, you know, within what we've seen, a bit more of a time-consuming one within this. Okay, this is definitely it. He doesn't have a jump or anything else. Yeah, every single shield hit is going to be a lot more for him. Oh, Mauu is actually able to get it, and he actually reverses it. Wow, what a situational awareness recognition right here coming in from Mauu, where he does understand that, you know, jumping from the ledge, getting that Shoryuken could possibly give him the win right here. And I'm really saying it the win because it's obviously that momentum that's going to give him such a very long-lived advantage in a way, even though the percentage doesn't reflect that.
No, absolutely. I will say the big thing that Chag is still playing very patient.
Okay.
Finds the conversion right there. Excellent stuff to Chag. Taking the first set here in this Astros of Reset team kill. But I just think the big thing with Chag is when situations like that, kind of like you mentioned, kind of don't really go his way and he kind of dies in unfortunate situations. I think the fact that he was still playing his game, it didn't seem like he was getting desperate trying to fish for these kills, and was still just playing the slow game and just, you know, wanting to find the situations where, you know, he knows he can get the kill, as opposed to fishing for the kill. I feel like the fact that he was able to maintain that momentum and that tempo just made sure that he was just going to take that first game. So going back to PS2, this potentially could be where we see maybe 3 or 4 games, maybe even all 5.
I think if we are to go to a game 5, I think we'll see 5 of them right here. Not gonna lie, these two players really, really love that Pokemon Stadium. Just going completely there every single time that they can. They really, really like going to it. Oh, I really like this as well. Intercepting any sort of offense with a lingering hitbox within the form of that up tilt. That's very smart by Mauu. And it gives them the opportunity to be able to stop Chag within his tracks, especially dealing with Palutena's blazing speed. And speaking of blazing speed, look at that stock taking almost 30 seconds after that match started. I mean, I'm really, really excited to see how this is going to work out for them, because every single time Mauu has been able to at least play something on the board, and now it's he was the one who has to retaliate towards what Chag has to say, and now it's the other way around.
Absolutely. I mean, the momentum kind of shifting all the way back to Mauu now, looking very, very good right here. Parries the... Wow, he parries the Nair and is able to stuff out, you know, the other hitboxes of Nair with a hitbox of his own, and now still looking pretty good right here. Trying to find the down tilt to catch that up B. Nobody home for it, though. Right now, Chag looking to try to find the great equalizer here in order to, you know, tie up the stock counts, but Mauu having a ton of momentum. This is the scenario where strong up tilt right here potentially could be the stock right now in favor of Mauu, but you're not going to make that back. That angle was pretty disgusting with the down tilt, but Mauu still looking pretty good here regardless.
No, I think at least a little bit of that strong jab is almost going to take the stock like that. But I think at least a little bit of experience overall is that Mauu, I mean, he is a Smash player, but he also plays some Street Fighter. I know it because I've actually been playing with him quite a lot. He's going to take that stock, but ironically, he doesn't even play with Ryu within Street Fighter 6. He actually plays with Ed. But something that I do notice that he's been getting a lot better with, that this game and Street Fighter 6 actually share with in common, is the parries, right? Like in this case, the shield and the perfect parry with Street Fighter 6, they both slow down time just for an instance, just for one small second before you're able to retaliate. So the fact that Mauu does it and he's able to capitalize very well off of it, I really like what I'm seeing right here. This could be enough. No, he's barely able to make it out of there unscathed at all. And look at this scramble situation right here. Gonna go in with the back throw. That's basically gonna place Chag off stage within a weird situation. And yep, he's gonna hit one kick to the head, and now Mauu is going to tie things up. This is really, really good for both of these players, because we're seeing a deficit within Chag's attack and a defensive style that Mauu is exploiting quite well. Now it's up to Chag to have to adapt, because Mau's counter adaptation towards that first game is coming up, and it's really, really going to start to bite Chag if he doesn't stop it right now.
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the big things that we started noticing a lot more is we started seeing Mauu not be afraid of the consistent nairs that Chag is trying to do from the corner. Like, especially that last interaction, he was willing to take that trade, knowing that if he traded with the nair, it was going to be more than enough to at least get the stock done. And we saw the stage we saw a little bit of a deliberation, so I think we're going to a different stage. Yes, we are. And because we are going to a different character, Chag now trusting the midman in order to, you know, give himself a lead in the set right now.
Yeah, and this is something that I actually saw Chag whenever I was on the first block of commentary, right? Opening up, he actually fought against Dani, if I recall correctly, and he was playing Ken. And really, it was just polarizing how often he would box the Shoto out, right? So, I mean, I think we could be seeing a very similar story happen right here. However, we are talking about Mauu, one of the prime representatives of this character overall here within Mexico, if not one of the only ones that there is, right? I mean, Ryu not being one of the more popular characters all around. Of course, you have Ken and Terry, who can do what Ryu can a little bit better within most of the peak angles, right? So, I mean, still taking everything into consideration, it's still a very, very good player to not really take for granted, and that is exactly what happened right here. As I say that, we have the no tech coming in from Mauu, unfortunate as it may be, and I'm seeing a lot of like spaghetti moments overall within this set. Kid, you know, we just saw a Shoryuken that Chag did not punish at all, so can't really be letting those easy punishes out of your hands, because the moment that they do, they start to snowball.
No, you're absolutely right. That's definitely something that I wanted to mention for sure. Those are situations that, yeah, you have to, that's an easy back throw, and then you get a powered up arm. You potentially could cheese an early stock there, but still looking pretty good. Chag trying to find something here. I really like the difference in range. I he's playing against Mauu here. Sometimes he's playing close range arms, and then sometimes he's just setting up shop like very more traditional Min. Finds the down smash, good stuff right there. But I love the change in tempo and how much he's outranging Mauu and like changing the spacing. Because the thing is if you commit to a certain spacing, Mauu can come in landing with Nair and can really just blow you up. That's like the big thing about this matchup is getting in is really hard, but once you're in, I feel like Ryu can consistently just do 40-50 damage on the Min.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree with that. It's one of the things that within this matchup, it's like once I get in, I will blow you up. But the thing is, Min says you won't get in, right? It's like that Zero May Cry meme, you know, overall with Virgil and things like that. It's basically a defensive powerhouse that you have as Min and just a burst range, effective, impressive, explosive playstyle that Mauu has with this Ryu. And he capitalizes so well off of, almost gets hit with that laser, but barely able to air dodge out of there. So now, kid, you're right. I definitely agree, and I see that now because we saw it in a couple instances. How many times did he have to go in order to take Chag stock? Twice, and that was it.
Yeah, 100%, but then that's the max range where I think Chag can really come out on top versus Mauu. Because if you play max range wherever you get the Dragon Mouth fire coming out, I think that's what makes it really, really strong. But this is a really tough situation right now for Chag to be in, forced to be on that platform. I wonder if he, no, definitely didn't take the jump, but this is so scary. Anytime you play right in front of Ryu as Min, I think that's really to Min's detriment. Like, I think you really do need to play burst range or greater of a distance, because every time Mauu wants to get in just like this, it's gonna be without cause. It takes the second game and takes another stock, another game, and now winner's life on the line potentially here for Chag if he can't close this game out.
Yeah, I mean, you really want to see who's going to win against Cosmos and Gilhue, right? And whoever wins this one is going to go against the victor of said set as well. Whoever loses this one is going to face off against Fruits of Fresh off of a win against Javi, right? The last remaining representative of Delfino Maza. Game number 4, we are going to be heading into Pokemon Stadium once again. Chag confía en el main, which is trusting in his main right here, because now he is heading back with Palutena into Pokemon Stadium. Seems like he felt a little bit more comfortable there, and I just don't know. Like, overall, within what we've seen, yes, Palutena did win a game, but she had an overall worse record against Mao's Ryu. But just, I mean, Min, we did see a 1 stock differential, but I mean, it was a loss at the end of the day. You can't really just to lose those 3 games. So let's see how that's going to work out right here. At least right now, we're actually seeing Chag, ironically enough, boxing Mauu out a little bit better than with Min.
No, 100%. Definitely you hit the nail in the coffin right there. I mean, the big thing is that Chag can play hot and cold and can play short distance and long distance gameplay against Mauu with Palutena so much easier than with Min, and we're starting to see that be like a very, very big factor. The big thing is that Palutena's Nair is simply just better than Min's Nair in terms of pressuring right in front of you. And that's honestly proving to be like the big difference maker so far. I mean, Mauu still clawing his way back, still doing a ton of damage right here. Oh my god, if that was in front instead of behind after that strong up tilt, that potentially could have been the stock right there. Chag has a ton of momentum here though at the end of the day.
Yep, and he has that stock advantage, so even if he is to lose that momentum, it could be a very, very different story than what we're seeing at this moment. Yep, definitely going to get hit with the up tilt into the Shoryuken, true Shoryuken at the end of the day. So now it all is up to Chag to continue with this advantage. He does not have to squander it. He does not want to squander it at all. He's actually going to be able to cancel out the Chakra Hadouken once more. Oh, this could be... Yeah, that was a very, very weird situation right here for Mauu. Simply going to step back. Maybe an explosive flame, something like that could have been a bit more of a better option right here for Chag. I mean, can't really go in with the Shoryukens or anything, try to intercept the Shoryukens or something like that, because maybe you could hit it with the one hit of the Nair, and that could drag them down. But I mean, in the end, you don't really want to give them more opportunities than what they come from it, and be better off, yeah, just trying to go in for the edge guard right there, as we see with the explosive flame. It's a very solid gameplay right here from Chag, but we've seen Mauu actually come back from these situations before.
Yeah, we've seen him come back from them before. Like you said, you know, just I think overall Chag is just having a much better time, and I think He's also dealing with Shaganetsu a lot more once he realized that he doesn't need to counter them every single time. He's countering them every now and then, but earlier he was trying to do it consistently, and sometimes if you're too close and you try to counter, not only can Mauu avoid it, but Mauu can also punish accordingly. But when you're countering full distance Shaganetsu, you kind of just reset neutral, and that's honestly more so what Chag needs. Chag just needs room to breathe and needs room to control the tempo in order to take this set, and right now, he's looking pretty good. I mean, one down tilt, one confirm, that's going to be the stock, but Chag's still looking pretty good, looking to take this to Game 5.
Let's see if that's going to happen, because we do see a Mauu that is struggling to be able to get a kill, but you know how terrifying Ryu can be with Rage, especially since he only has one level of Rage. He hasn't quite gotten to that 100% quite yet. Barely able to move away, but now he does have that potential unlocked. He is now within that 100% range. We're actually going to see him try to fish for a little bit of anything that could kill at all. We saw him hit a lot of those hard up tilts, a lot of those hard jabs, and now finally finds one that is going to give him at least a little bit of more time right there. But the thing is, you can't really go for those against Palutena, because she knows that that Nair is going to break out right there. And Mauu, unfortunately, closing, or rather shortening the Shoryuken a little bit more. That ends up giving us a game number 5. However, one of our initial predictions that it was going to go to Pokemon Stadium every single time did not work out well, because we actually saw Chag change into Min. So, I mean, Pokemon Stadium, maybe against Ryu, didn't quite feel comfortable there, or rather, we just used the counter picks within our advantage, but we are going to head back into Pokemon Stadium to once more. Let's see how that's going to work out, because we are in a game number 5 situation, kid. 2-2 for both of these players, going to head back once more into Pokemon Stadium. Take it away.
Yeah, no, they're both looking very good. I mean, after the Min game, it feels like, there was that last game 4 might have been a statement win for Chag. I feel like the momentum feels way more on his side. The one big thing that I don't know if he noticed this towards the end of the game, the second he won it, he was trying to force the kill onto Mauu when he was around high % second stock. Like, Mauu was just throwing out these counter hits just to try to trade, knowing that it probably won't kill him because it's like Nair, but then he knows that he can get those kills onto Chag as well, and that could shake up your mentality a little bit. So I think that if Chag notices that he just sometimes needs to not Nair necessarily a bunch in front of Mauu, I think that's going to be the difference maker to keep that momentum in this Game 5. And so far, I mean, this is just neck and neck, back and forth. I love, again, not countering every Shaganetsu gives you the ability to jump over it and get yourself a situation where you can win neutral and force Mauu off stage. But Mauu right now still trying to claw back right now, using the focus, knowing that drop down fair could have potentially happened right there, just so you can eat the hit with his armor. So very good awareness, very preemptive decisions being made from Mauu right now.
Yeah, and not only does it take care of one option, actually take care of two, and one being a little bit more of a lethal one, right, within the back air. So the fact that it absorbs one hit is definitely going to give it a lot more of a reason to use it. And speaking of the old 1-2, gets it with the 1-2 jab into the Shoryuken, true Shoryuken once again. And I really like what Mauu is doing, because he knows that reflector is an option now, as Chag has been using it quite a lot. He actually throws it within a certain distance where he can crouch under it without having to lose a lot of pressure, so he doesn't have to shield, which gives him at least a little bit more of an opportunity to be able to reclaim that momentum, or rather contest it a lot easier, right? So I really like this, what we're seeing right here coming in from Mauu. Just overall, we're gonna see another one. No, not quite yet, but almost. Chag has a panic Nair out of shield out of it. Still, once again, Mauu playing this quite well, really digging a lot more into what Chag fears and trying to exploit it a little bit more than what we saw within previous games.
Yeah, just like that. I mean, this is the point where Chag is starting to slip away a little bit, and Mauu at this point, all the trades are just in his favor. Like, he knows he's okay with losing his stock right now, but he knows that all these trades, even if he does lose a stock, he's gonna come off that Angel plat, and he can just run at you with strong up tilt, and there's like, all you have to do is just run away. Like, you have to respect it, because at this percent, you're just super dead. Like, one confirm here, Chag explodes, and just like that, but still able to actually DI the Tatsu right there. True Shoryu definitely is probably like the big difference here, but the dash attack gonna be enough to take that stock. And I mean, Chag keeping it close stock counts, but man, he has to play almost a perfect stock too if he wants to bring this all the way back. And right now he's starting to with these hitboxes. Multi-hits definitely doing some magic right here, but Mauu able to escape a little bit, and now it's back to the stalemate scenario that we've been seeing pretty much the entire set.
Yeah, they really like playing a little bit more neutral, a little bit more footsies, because that's what they have to do, right? Palutena is a character that definitely rewards that exactly, but at the same time, I mean, you can't really say that Ryu isn't one that rewards it because my man almost invented footsies. Franchise almost invented footsies. So let's see how that's going to work out now. We have a Chag that has the disadvantage, and there is something that these players really like to say here within Mexico, and it's because I've heard it coming from them. That is, if I'm at a disadvantage, why should I approach? And if I'm at an advantage, why should I approach? Leading to the fact that they really like to take their time. So let's see how that's going to work out at this moment. Gonna get that 76%, and this is kill percent. This is a very, very optimal kill percent, if I do say so myself, right here coming in from Mauu. Maybe just 10% more, and it would be a bit of a different. No, not anymore. He doesn't have any rage, so we're gonna see him try to get into those 100% in order to try to claim Chag's life. But this is neck and neck. Last stock for both of these players.
Game number 5, and we were about to start talking about how at the ledge with this rage, he's just looking for haymaker because he knows he can probably get a confirm right here. But man, this is now, like you said, Chag having about 20% to work with right here potentially, and just like that, it's gone. So you pretty much have to play untouchable right now at this last stock scenario in order to bring it all the way back. These nairs working out. Mauu was trying to approach, and the forward smash is a call out. Not enough to do it just yet. Chag needs to be a little bit more aggressive off stage. It's not working out. This reversal scenario, untechable scenario, and Mauu is going to take it. Game 5 over Chag. That attack cancel into the Shoryu, providing an untechable stage spike scenario. Unfortunately, it's going to be the downfall for Chag. That overextension at the ledge not able to work out in his favor and cost him the set, unfortunately. But Mauu able to take it. Game 5, winners finals.
That was insane, man. Like the recognition of him going in with that attack cancel into the shore, you can definitely unprecedented. We did see him occasionally doing it on on command, yes. We saw it once within a kill that we saw within what, if I recall correctly, was game 2, where Chag overextended within the ledge and he was punished off of it. But now to be able to use it, and not only that, but to give you that wanky situation, like that clanky situation where it's like, yeah, I'm